Good morning, everyone. How's everyone doing today? Good? I'm a bit exhausted after day one. I don't know if you enjoyed the party last night and brought a bit of music to raise up the room. I'm going to try to entertain you as much as possible, changing the subject to music, adoption, what's going to happen in the future. So I'm going to try to get through the presentation as quickly as possible, and then maybe hopefully I'm going to have a few questions from the audience. So this is our thesis. Like, music will drive the next adoption cycle. Does it work? Yeah. Few reasons why. Number one, the revenue expectation is gonna multiply by 3, 4, 5 times what we got today. So we're gonna move from around 25, 30 billion. I have 21 billion there. There are like a few different numbers, but the expectation is 130 billion by 2030, which means that we have 7 years to go and an extra almost 100 billion to build in the music industry. So what's gonna happen if part of that is gonna flow into Web3? How transformative the change could be. Then obviously people, like everyone listen to music. So if you look at the streaming data, I think we're covering over 1 billion people with streaming services and apps dealing with those services on a daily basis. So a lot of the trend is going to be, I think, related to infrastructure and obviously access on mobile phones, which is going to be widely spread. And then obviously music is going to be one of the first interaction that we like to have in our lives. And then obviously there is a sort of human society element, right? Everyone listens to music. Music is part of our lives. I asked the question before if you enjoyed last night, because I'm assuming for me I'm going to remember obviously the presentation, obviously the interaction I had at the event, but a few drinks with a few friends, a Polkadot Decoded, and then downloading an NFT, which is going to stick in my phone for the rest of my life, is a sort of things that we started to like quite a bit. Now, if we look at the industry structure, you have 4 very clear business models within the music industry. Right? The bigger one, 55% is streaming, and that has been the first challenge in understanding how we're going to go to Web3. Right? Because the narrative that we all tell each other is about ownership. You own your data, you're going to own your music, but effectively, the industry is not moving in that direction. Since the streaming came into the picture, the ownership of music is not the biggest value prop. Actually, it's only 5% of the industry revenues, so it's the smaller chunk. 25% is actually super interesting because it's live events, so there are lots of applications that we might have in Web3. And then also whatever is royalties, merchandising, collectibles, digital collectibles. So somehow what we saw is that there is a Web3 application pretty much in all of them. So the question that we started asking ourselves is how Web3 as a sort of global distribution platform could be applied to this different revenue stream in the music industry. So I'm going to try to give you our view on each of them. And then I'm going to show you a few case studies that we have done on a few of these opportunities. So the first one is streaming. Like streaming, the initial idea was we create a fair environment. Then I think this is what we heard in every presentation. Actually, Web 2 is not fair. Web 2 is centralized. So effectively, we found with an industry where 2 dominant players are basically covering the whole industry. Apple Music and Spotify is 99% of the streaming business. So it's not disintermediated. It's not transparent, most of everything. We spent the last couple of years really figure out exactly how the value chain of the royalty works, so why you have 80% of the artists complaining of no understanding how the calculation, how the algorithm work, why we're not making any money, why we get on Spotify and we have some other artists which are making millions, because I think now we are usual Pareto analysis, 80-20. No? The 20% of the artists are better off compared to the product era, so CD, selling music, they're earning more money, while most of the market is actually not. So we believe that this is like the deepest technological implementation of Web3, where we imagine that all the streaming data, all the IP, everything is going to start in the blockchain. And from there, you can have a completely open, transparent ledger on any interaction that we have with the music, with the artist. You can redesign the way the payments are actually structured, because today we don't even know. Maybe I listen always to the same playlist, but I don't even know if my membership is going to pay directly the music I listen to, or whether it's going to contribute to a larger pot, which is going to be managed by an algorithm, which I have no idea how it works, and it's going to just distribute money in a sort of centralized, decided way. Recording music. This is like difficult one is how we started. It's about the distribution, so iTunes, Bandcamp, Beatport. It's all about, I buy my music, I want to own my music. This value proposition works a lot for professional. Obviously, if you see DJs, they're going to have to own their music to sit on a stage and perform and use their music. And we see Web3 as a sort of piracy control. Like, if you go back on the reason why we got to streaming, the problem was piracy. I mean, I think everyone has seen the Netflix documentary about Spotify. That's the easier way to rebuild a bit of knowledge of what happened. But ideally, you had a lot of piracy platform where you could just download the music without paying, without doing anything, and that's how somehow Spotify forced the major labels to come sit down, do a deal, and start distributing in a way that it was somehow getting some revenue back in the music industry, because the problem is the CD sales were gone almost to zero, and half of the industry was almost bankrupt at that time. But if NFTs are attached to a file, effectively, you could actually, I don't know, have a sort of entrance point to a room. So if we listen music all together, because there is utility and there is say companionship and people getting together, there's no reason anymore to have a piracy file of music sitting in my hard drive. Live performances maybe is the most straightforward one. You can have NFTs which are released at the event. This is pretty much what we've done last night. The DJ released the DJ that she was playing last night. She released an NFT. I think she announced also a raffle. Couple of people that downloaded the NFT, they're gonna go with her to learn how to DJ, to learn how to produce music and have a bit of fun. So that's the kind of interaction that we see happening. And then obviously the merchandising. I mean, merchandising has always been physical. We know that in certain sectors or genre of music, like rock, merchandise is super popular. Like most of the fans are gonna be collecting, buying the T-shirt, buying everything which is produced. They want to get people closer to the artist. So, I mean, the digital side of it is going to be somehow interesting and important. The talk was also about gaming, right? So, I mean, gaming has been, the only point I want to make here, then we get on the case study, is that I think Web3 gaming has been the last cycle narrative. I mean, there was a huge expectation on gaming. I remember I started really looking on, I don't know, Axie Infinity and Illuvium and all the gaming projects as the one that are going to drive adoption. And music and gaming actually work super well together. But I'm going to show you on the case study. Then we also have the brands, the public pressure. We've done something with Diesel. Brands love music because musicians has always been the trend-setting part of the society. So that association is super powerful. And in Web3, considering it's a new trend, you have new communities, this sort of relationship become the way to reach and talk and engage, compete in new different audiences compared to the one that maybe walk on your store and you know, in sort of your regular business model. So, conclusion of this step is really, I mean, we've been studying what happened in the music industry. And generally, when you have a transformation, it's very difficult. It's going to take a while to figure it out. But when it happens, it's huge. It's like basically taking over the whole industry. So we said, we need to be there. We need to know what's going on. Because when it's going to happen, it's going to be real transformative. That's what history has been teaching us. So a couple of case studies. First of all, take the opportunity to also thank the Moonsama community. I got very close to them in the last 1.5 years, and that's how the relationship with music and gaming started. This NFT, I think, is an exosama for everyone that knows what the guys are doing. And the headphone are basically how the music got into NFT collection and NFT community. This is like the whole logic that myself and Donny B. Beggs, again, for everyone that knows him, we started really designing, understanding, interacting with, and the result has been absolutely awesome. So, number one, the pods. We launched this collection back in October last year. It was a very simple idea. What if we do an NFT equipable collection called the pods, which are headphones? What if these equipable NFTs are going to have unreleased tracks, so you can actually listen to music when you walk in the game? And what if these NFTs are bridgeable in Minecraft? Because at the time, the Moonsama community had this event called Carnage, played every Sunday, 2 hours, and it was sort of play-to-craft model. And that's how we launched it. So being very successful. We sold all the NFTs in 10 days. We raised over 1.5 million in a bear market, which for us, we said, wow, I mean, we're really doing something interesting here. But I still remember the first time I actually used them. I used to play all the time, so I walked into Minecraft and I clicked the pods, and suddenly I was playing the game with my music. So that, I think, is the game changer. No, I'm not subject to the gaming company deciding which music I'm going to listen when I play, but I can buy my music, I can bring it into the game, I can have better properties, maybe my avatar can run faster because I have those songs and those NFTs, and actually the music is mine. So it was really interesting case study. Sorry, guys. Wrong one. So then we've done Metaverse as well. With Diesel, we've done a few drops with them on the music, and they invited us to do the Decentraland Fashion Week. And it's been great to see, the NFT holder, coming in token-gated environment, have fun, sit together, participate in a virtual fashion week. Super interesting experience. And that's another iteration on the games. This one I have to thank someone sitting in the Shytail team, who is our, Mark was sitting in the panel before, is our lead investor. They really liked the game, and at some point, I think that they knew a developer that started iterating on a rhythm game. Then we saw the opportunity to have more case study and application on music in gaming. So we started developing this game, and we created with Diesel on the music drop, basically, 2 token-gated level. So the flow was, go on public pressure, I buy the Diesel NFT, which is a very cool NFT from a breakthrough artist, and release music. It's going to be unique. Then I can take the NFT, I can go in a bridge, I can participate to a gaming tournament based on music. And if I'm really good and my points are going to be very high, I'm going to be rewarded in that gaming community with some more NFTs and some more tokens. So actually you start seeing cross-project utility, cross-project flow and rewarding, and that's why I think the music and games are going to be a really big part on the next evolution of Web3 in music. And then this is like very humble when we discover that this was happening. So the story is that one of our guys that participated to Carnage, we started going on a piece of land that was free, started building a couple of blocks. The idea was maybe, we can build a public pressure house or a public pressure stage. One guy became 2 became 10 became almost 100. And these guys, for the last 6 months, organically, we didn't ask, they started building the public pressure village. After a little while, we had the fashion district, we have the diesel building, we have a roller coaster, we have ships, we have spaceships, we have a podcasting studio, everything organically developed by the community. And that's why somehow we really, really love Web3, because that's what it's all about. You have an idea, you push things into the community, and the community just reacts. If it works, it's going to just be absorbed and engaged to it. I really wanted to have a couple of questions, but I think I just got the last 21 seconds. Maybe I can take one. Does anyone? No questions? Before they kick me down from the stage? Fabio, question? There's one there. Ursula. Hi. Yeah, there.
Grazie mille, Sergio. So I do have a question because the blockchain ecosystem has evolved. We have seen different trends, and right now the music vertical is becoming bigger. And I would like to have your take on how will you foresee the future of the music vertical with blockchain?
Wow. Can I have another 15 minutes? No, very simple. I think it's going to be about the participation. What we figure out is that you have to bring all the industry together, sit at the table, and figure out what is going to be the next technology architecture. Transparency is going to be a big deal. I mean, the whole value proposition on the blockchain, on the Parachain, I mean, talking about deep tech is going to be about data, about IP, about tokenization of IP, about royalty-bearing system. That is going to be the big tech sort of future. But then also the whole iteration on streaming models, like events, NFTs, communities, cross-partnership is going to be very fluid. A lot of case study coming to market, phygital, at live events. That's very much the future that we see in the last couple of years. Cool. Thank you very much, guys. Enjoy your day.